Apple falling behind Huawei, Nvidia in the danger zone, ASML's chip printing empire at risk? Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? Think again. China's not playing catch-up anymore. It's about to Thanos snap the entire semiconductor industry. EUV stands for Extreme Ultraviolet Lithography, a next-level chip-making technology that sounds like sci-fi but is very real. Think of it as a $200 million printer for transistors so tiny they make a grain of sand look gigantic. Unlike regular printers from Canon or Epson, EUV machines use extreme ultraviolet light, wavelengths so short they can etch microscopic circuits onto silicon wafers with insane precision. Why does this matter? Because without EUV, you can't make the world's most advanced chips, like the 3nm and 5nm processors that power the latest iPhones, AI systems, and high-end military tech. These chips pack billions of transistors into a fingernail-sized space. Only EUV can draw circuits that small. And guess what? Only one company in the world makes EUV machines, ASML, based in the Netherlands. They don't just lead the game, they own the game. No EUV, no cutting-edge chips. That's why people joke. There are two things nearly impossible to get these days: a new iPhone in China and an EUV machine from ASML. Control EUV, and you basically control the future of technology. If you think my breakdown makes sense, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The US didn't just ban Huawei from buying American tech, it went all in on a full blockade. It pressured allies like the Netherlands to stop ASML from selling its powerful EUV machines to China. Why? Because these machines are the holy grail of advanced chip making. Without them, you can't make 5nm or 3nm chips, the brain of modern AI, smartphones, and military systems. Then comes TSMC, the world's top chip manufacturer. Although it's based in Taiwan, TSMC relies heavily on US tech, software, machines, even patents. When the US said no more business with Huawei, TSMC had no choice but to back off, despite Huawei being one of its biggest clients. It's like America slammed every door shut. No tools, no partners, no supply chain. Imagine someone blocking your money, your career path, and even your date night all at once. That's what China's tech giants were facing. And yet, Huawei didn't back down. Their response was basically, fine, we'll do it ourselves. Against all odds, they started building chips using older DUV machines and local innovation. It wasn't pretty, but it worked, proving that China wasn't going to stay locked out forever. Meanwhile, ASML was caught in the middle. They wanted to sell, they wanted the revenue, but US pressure forced their hand. Now, they're watching a massive market slip through their fingers, all while China starts building its own alternatives. This isn't just business, it's tech warfare, played with lasers, light waves, and billion-dollar machines. Huawei is teaming up with SMIC, China's top chip maker, and SMEE, a domestic lithography company, in a bold mission to build China's own EUV machine. This is no small project. EUV technology is insanely complex, requiring precision optics, high-energy light sources, and nanometer-level control. But China sees it as a matter of national survival and pride. To make it happen, the Chinese government is injecting billions into the semiconductor sector. We're talking full-scale investment, talent, infrastructure, research, and a relentless push for self-reliance. In short, China is flooding its chip industry with money like blood into veins, reviving every part that sanctions tried to cut off. Rumors are already swirling. Huawei may have built a prototype EUV machine, and internal tests are underway. Mass production? Possibly by 2026. If true, this would be a game changer, not just for China, but for the entire global tech landscape. As people joke, your girlfriend might leave you, but the Communist Party will never leave the chip industry. Huawei's all in, like a rich kid dropping out of college to build a billion-dollar startup. And if they succeed, the monopoly of ASML may not last much longer. If you think my breakdown makes sense, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If Huawei successfully develops its own EUV technology, the shockwaves will be felt across the entire tech world. Would be the first to feel the heat. Its decades-long monopoly on EUV lithography, built on extreme precision and state-of-the-art optics, would be shattered. Losing market share to a state-backed Chinese competitor could cost ASML billions and severely weaken its global influence. TSMC, the current king of advanced chip manufacturing, would face direct competition from China's domestic fabs. If Huawei and SMIC can mass-produce high-end chips in-house, China would no longer need to rely on Taiwan's chip giant. Apple, Nvidia, and Qualcomm would be caught in a tight spot. They've already distanced themselves from Huawei under US pressure, but if Huawei closes the tech gap, it could become a direct rival, offering competitive chips and devices, all built without Western tech. Meanwhile, the US government would respond with, "We warned you," but the damage would be done. The sanctions that aimed to slow China down might have triggered a faster leap forward instead. As the meme goes, if Huawei really nails EUV, ASML might just go back to planting tulips, because the chip printing game will never be the same. Even if Huawei builds its own EUV machine, the road to true semiconductor independence is still full of obstacles. First, hardware alone isn't enough. Modern chip making relies heavily on software, specifically EDA tools, electronic design automation, used to design, simulate, and verify chips before they're ever printed. The problem? Over 90% of the world's EDA software is controlled by US companies like Synopsys and Cadence. Without access to these tools, designing cutting-edge chips becomes nearly impossible. Second, global trust and supply chains matter. Chips aren't just built. They're part of a vast, interconnected ecosystem involving suppliers, IP licenses, quality control, and international buyers. Even if Huawei prints its own chips, who will trust the quality, and who will risk the political heat of working with a blacklisted company? Huawei might pull off the technical miracle of making chips domestically, but without design software and global cooperation, it's like owning a high-end tattoo machine but not knowing how to draw. Looks impressive, but no one's getting in line for your ink. So yes, progress is real. But victory? That's still far from guaranteed. Huawei is placing a massive bet. Either it rewrites semiconductor history or burns through billions chasing the impossible. The stakes couldn't be higher. If they succeed in cracking EUV technology by 2026, it would upend the entire global chip industry. The monopoly of ASML? Gone. US tech dominance? Shaken. And the balance of power in the tech world? Flipped. But if they fail? It's a costly lesson in how hard it is to break into a game that took others decades to master. What do you think? Is Huawei really about to conquer EUV by 2026, or is this just internal hype with no finish line? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss part 2, where we dive even deeper into this high-stakes tech showdown.